Hey everyone. Hey, it is your girl. My name is Precious Williams, and I'm the proud host of the Keep It Real with the Killer Pitchmaster Show. Again, we are live every Sunday, time permits, or if I don't have a speaking engagement. I'm so happy to be here with all of you. Today's episode is on trusting the process of pitching. And I'm really so glad that we're talking about this today. Yesterday, I was at the Sisters in Biz Expo in Newark, New Jersey. Now I'm back home in Brooklyn, New York. And there were so many lessons that I learned from that experience. We're going to talk about this. And for those of you who are new, I am the Killer Pitch Master. I'm a 30-time national pitch champion who successfully appeared on Shark Tank, CNN, Wall Street Journal, Forbes magazine, two billboards in Times Square, movies, documentaries, you name it. I'm also from St. Louis, Missouri, the Show Me State. And years ago, as big as I dreamed, I didn't dream it would be this big. And to look back over my life and to understand that I knew how to pitch when I was in high school. We didn't talk about pitching way back when. Yes, I spoke. My first speaking engagement was before the mayor of the city of St. Louis, and my second was before the governor of Missouri. But how did that even happen? So as I was looking back and I thought about things, trusting the process of pitching, a lot of us would love to pitch right now and get someone to buy and or invest in our company or do something extraordinary. And sometimes that happens. But most times what you'll find is you're really building and rebuilding relationships so that when you do need something or an opportunity, you're being pitched to someone else or someone that's like, you know what? I forgot about her. Let me go back. Starting the process. Yesterday at Sisters Expo in Newark, New Jersey at the Robert Tree Hotel. When the Lyft driver drove me there, as we were coming into Newark, so many emotions flooded me. So many emotions. The first was I graduated from Rutgers School of Law, Newark, in 2007. The Robert Tree Hotel is where I studied for the bar with Barbary. I hadn't been in that hotel in 14 years, and Newark has changed so much. But what was so wonderful is all these emotions that were coming to me were these positive emotions. I couldn't have known that when I was in law school and, I was struggling up until my last semester. I couldn't have known that the very reason why I got a full scholarship to Spelman, Georgetown, and Rutgers is because I knew the art and science of pitching way back when. And so, what are we talking about trusting the process? It is true. My first pitch got me on national television. My second pitch on national television, I received $500,000. And then I went on to win 13 out of 14 national business elevator pitch competitions. That is a rare story, but it doesn't also tell the full story. I've been pitching myself since I was a young person. And because I didn't have the words to talk about pitching way back when, I didn't realize that. So at Sisters in Biz Expo in Newark, New Jersey at the Robert Tree Hotel, I got up that morning, took a shower and was mentally preparing myself to set up and do all of these things. I went downstairs and of course this big space, all it was were tables and vendors setting up. So I was setting up, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I don't know about how to set tables. So I'm thinking in my mind, how do I want the table? So I'm going through all of this. And then I went back upstairs to change outfits, put a little makeup on, and get ready, not knowing what the day would put before me. Can I tell y'all that when the day started, I met four women from Rising Tide. And two of the women I had coached in pitch competitions. One of the women was, a big person in the program, and another woman was preparing for pitch competition. Never met her before. And one by one, they came up to me and told me how much they admired me, how much they appreciated the work that I did, and it's nice to see me in real life. There was a woman two tables down. We were just chopping it up in the morning time, setting things up. And finally, she says to me, I know you. And I said, oh, you do? She said, you're the Killer Pitch Master. Oh my God. You didn't even walk in like I thought you would. Like, oh, I'm Precious. Y'all didn't know me. I said, no, Queen. I said, I'm just Precious. She said, she said, I expected you to be like, I was like, no. I said, no, I'm vending for the first time in a long time. And so I'm just getting acclimated. When I hit a stage, I'm the killer pitch master, but I want people to read the real me. I'm normal. I'm regular, degular, schmegler when I want to be. And I'm just having a great time. And so as women were coming up to me and they were buying my books, there was this one woman, beautiful woman. She had just given birth to a baby. Baby looking at me like, my mama interested. What you talking about? And then her husband or her boyfriend was right there, and he asked about the books. And so she bought two books, and she's a young woman who is going to be a podcaster. And she was feeling a little down. She's feeling a little weird about her body. And I said, girl, you looking like a whole snack up in here. I said, you can believe the lies that society will tell you. I said, but your gifts do make room for you. And mine have been 42 years in the making. 42 years I've been building up to this moment. And so when I talk about trusting the process of pitching, I mean that every time you pitch, you're really setting yourself up to get the currency you need, whether that's relationships, whether that's funds, whether that's being closer to the person you need to be in front of to actually get to where you want to go. And so, yes, when I was 16 years old, I never thought that first speaking engagement would have me in front of some of the biggest companies in the world on some of the biggest stages of the world. But that's about trusting a process that I didn't even know anything about. So on my table, I had the number 3, which is such a big number to me. My grandmother's birthday is October 23rd, 1933. I'm 33 HKO1. 3 years ago, I came into the light, and that number is just with me. And so just sitting there and looking at all these wonderful women entrepreneurs, Black women entrepreneurs, as they were selling everything from fur coats to shea butter to incredible things I had never even heard of. It was so nice just to be in their spaces. It was so nice to see them do their thing. And so I just want you all to know, and I'll make this a short session today, but trusting the process. Rome wasn't built in a day. And sometimes, what do they say in marketing? It takes 12 to 14 touches for people to be able to truly understand what you do and buy from you. Sometimes it may be one, sometimes it may be 7, sometimes it may be 24 times. But I really want you all to know that keep putting yourselves out there. You might be like, oh, I keep doing this. Not. Are you doing it with quality content? Are you doing it? Are you engaging with are you engaging with other people in your industry, out of your industry? Are you letting companies, corporations, nonprofits, and foundations know that you're available and that your product services can help them? Are you asking for warm introductions to the right kind of people? Here's something that I learned on Friday evening. You can think big and think small at the same time. I work with some of the biggest companies in the world, but I had a conversation with an executive at a big tech company, a woman I've known at least 24 years. And we were just talking. And I asked her about, and it may be an opportunity to speak at her company. And she was like, yeah, actually we're gonna need you probably in January. I said, okay. So we started talking about things, and she said something about the budget. And I thought it was so funny how she said, oh, we have a small budget. Okay. Well, I didn't know what that meant. Sometimes at the end of the year, the budgets or whatever they're gonna be. And so I'm thinking, well, let me gauge what it is. And so I threw out a number I've never thrown out before. And she laughed and said, oh, we spend more than that on something else. I was like, so even if you think you're thinking big, you can be thinking small at the same time because you don't have a frame of reference. And that's what I talk about, trusting the process. Years ago, I've been working with Ty Goodwin for years. And when I first started working with her almost 3 years ago, she was telling me about increasing my fees and all the things that I had done. The truth of the matter is, I didn't believe I could ask for a certain amount. I didn't believe it because deep down, I felt like my mistakes and my failures held me back. And then as the years went by, I began to see myself differently. I was able to breathe. Finances wasn't that problem anymore. My problem was letting go and walking on the red carpet, right? And so it brought me back to that full circle moment of throwing a number out there that I never would have if I hadn't been working with her if God wasn't doing the internal work. You know how Young Levizette talks about doing the work? He was doing the work. And even though it's growing pains, and even though you're going through these things where you're like, yes, I've been in great spaces, with very esteemed, very wealthy individuals. That was never the problem. It was believing that I had the right to be there. So it's not imposter syndrome. It really was, I belong because I say so, not because these people say I do. I belong because I say so. I feel good. So Friday, when I got into Newark, and then I went looking for like a Walgreens, CVS, or whatever. I couldn't find it. I was walking down the street and I swear I was wearing this red, white, and black top with a red skirt. And I'm walking down the street and I felt like everybody was looking at me. I'm thinking, man, do I stand out? Like, I swear it was the weirdest feeling, right? Because I was in Newark for 2003 to 2005, 2008. And everybody was looking at me and I'm thinking, am I dressed inappropriately? Like, what is it? Well, I talked to one of my queens today and she said, why shouldn't you stand out? She said, you're not who you used to be. And so you don't dress like you used to. You have a different confidence. And so you're going to stand out when everybody else is wearing muted colors. Here you are wearing bright red skirt and bright clothes and your hair is bright. Like, why not? As you said, you're dancing between different perspectives, who you used to be and who you are. So even in those ways, so that's what so when I talk about trusting the process, there are people who think once you're thrust into the national spotlight that things change and that your brain starts to catch up with it, your mind starts to catch up with it, right? And so there were so many lessons that I learned this weekend about trusting the process. Number one, we talk about confidence all the time, but confidence really does begin within. And so as I was standing there, vending for the first time in years, and I had forgotten all the things that used to happen when I vended, there was this confidence of, I know you want what I have. Whether this banner says I'm the killer pitchmaster or not, and being able to bring people to me. Y'all, I had pillows, cups. Do you know they didn't even want those at all? They thought they were cute, but they wanted the books. We're often told that black people don't buy books. They bought mine. And I think about that, like confidence to be like, they're going to buy something because I wrote it. Shout out to Sharon Monet. Shout out to Carla M. Dean. Shout out to Christian Kwan. Confidence. I stood there in my own power. She might be saying, well, first, why weren't you on stage? It doesn't even matter. I don't always need to be on stage to make a difference. The people who were supposed to be on stage were. And there was a woman who I had pitch coached in Rising Tide, and she was on the stage on the power panel. And she came down to tell me it's because of you that I'm here. What a great moment in time. Number two, about trusting the process, is some things happen fast and some things are a slow burn. So when you think about seeding and you think about working with different individuals, make sure that your insides feel good about it. Make sure that if things are going to take time, that you're down for waiting that time. You're down for building and rebuilding relationships. You're down for the long haul and not for the short gratification. Number three, things that come really, really fast may come so fast that you're not ready. So again, sometimes the seeding and the harvest don't happen at the same time. Coming back into the light 3 years ago, I feel like things really started to take off 2.5, maybe even 2 years ago. And it started at one by one by one, and it kept going. And so, becoming a faculty member of Babson College, becoming speaker of the year, becoming all these things that I am achieving, it took time. So I had to see it, and I had to be impressed years ago, be impressed years ago, being impressed today. So you can see the steady progression. And when the harvest comes and all things start to come at you, you put everything in it to make it happen. And so I could sit and bend and I could feel so good about listening to what's on stage. I heard Dr. Cheryl Wood, who I worked with years ago. And to see her, she was wearing bright red. Girl, she was slaying. Do you hear me? Dr. Sherry Good, like her sister. I mean, they both looking like whole snacks. And when we were taking pictures, it was that come full circle. When I started, I wasn't where I am today. And I could stand there and look face to face and feel great amongst them because I am who I am. Authentically, transparently, I stand in my own funk and I stand in my own greatness, right? And not being afraid to walk into any room with anybody, greatest speakers in the world, greatest pitch, like I'm not afraid because I deserve to be there. Number 4, I am blessed that I had a grandmother who spoke life over me years ago. And it took me into my late 30s and 40s to understand the lessons she was giving me. I couldn't understand when I was a teenager. I couldn't even understand in my 20s. I could never understand that all the challenges and the situations that I found myself in brought me to these amazing moments. Did y'all know 3 years ago on October 23rd, I spoke at Bottomless Closet for the first time? And it was because of Facebook bringing that up. I was like, oh, that's why I always want to honor my grandmother on her birthday, October 23rd, 1933. She died April 19th, 2000. She's been gone 21 years, half of my life. And I'm so honored that she was teaching me about seeding and harvesting, right? Great. And finally, finding the right people who are meant to be on this journey with you is not easy, but it sure is fun. To meet Ty Goodwin, Danielle Fitzpatrick Clark, Enrich Her, Digital Undivided, Black Speakers Network, Weibo, all of these great organizations, the Dames, just conversations over coffee, Jamie Bennett and her accelerated accountability group, the women and the men the kings and queens that I am blessed to be around have all pushed me forward for now. So as much as it looks good to have likes and comments, you know what feels even better? When you have clients and customers who keep coming back because there's something about what you're doing they can't find anywhere else. And that takes time to find your groove when you're pitching, whether that's an elevator pitch, a media pitch, an investor pitch, a sales pitch, a speaker pitch, or an interview pitch. The more you do it, the better you get. And just because you start off in one circle doesn't mean that's where you always stay. I didn't start off in tech. I didn't start off in financial services, and I darn sure didn't start off in real estate. And yet my name rings loudly in those circles and in even other circles. On October 28th, 2019, my first book came out, Bad Bitches and Power Pitches, for women entrepreneurs and speakers only. Wait, let me go and get it, y'all. This book came out October 28th, 2019. This book sells more now than when it came out. It was the #1 bestseller. On October 28th, 2021, I'll be speaking. I'll be doing a Yelp webinar. And let me put that in the comments for you all. It's a free webinar. Free webinar. I hope I can find it. It's a free webinar. And if not, I will put it in the comments. Or you can go to my website, www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. Here, go right here and the link below and sign up for free. It's going to be an hour long. Yelp bought 100 books for the first 100 that have already registered. I know they've already registered. We're beyond that. But when I wrote this book, I had no idea that would increase in sales year after year. I seeded in 2019. And to have companies, corporations, nonprofits, and foundations make this book go gangbusters. That's what I talk about, seeding and harvesting. They're different. My book will be 2 years old. This book was a 4-time Book of the Year finalist in business, sales, and econ. I'm proud of this book because this is me. I wrote this. And under the great tutelage of Sharon Monet of www.penlegacy.com, under the tutelage of editor Carla M. Dean, this book changed my life. I thought it was a killer pitch master before, but this gave me credibility in a way that nothing else did. You have to be on every show in the world, but when you write a book, and it is actually a great book that others, even Forbes magazine, has reviewed, then you know you're doing something, right? The reason why I bring this up is because most people, when they put out a book, it gets great in the first month or two and then it kind of dies off. This book kept selling in bulk to companies, corporations, foundations, and nonprofits. I did not know that they bought in bulk like that. And so why you don't see it on the New York Times bestseller is because they're buying from me and not from Amazon or from Barnes and Nobles. Another thing I want to tell you all is make sure that you profit from the work that you do, because I do. I don't need all the accolades in the world when my books are selling, when I'm getting booked, and people are saying what I can do. So when I tell y'all about trusting the process of pitching, even if it takes 6 months or 2 years, 3 years, when you stay constant and consistent, this momentum builds up and you're killing the game. And so I just want you all to know, thank you to everyone who showed up at Sisters in Biz Expo in Newark, New Jersey this past weekend on Saturday, yesterday. I will also be appearing at the Luminary tomorrow, Monday and Wednesday, October 27th, 25th and 27th. You can get your free tickets at that link below, luminary-legacy.us.highbright.com, events /16447. You can also go to the Luminary site and get your free tickets. It's a women's small business pop-up at the Luminary under the great tutelage of Kate Luzio and her team. And I think there's going to be about 10 businesses headed by women who are going to have things on display that you can buy for the holiday season, or you can just buy for yourself right now. I encourage you all to come out and celebrate. I'm a member of the Luminary and I've been there since 2019. So we're coming up on it. So think about it, y'all. Come out and support. Finally, because I didn't want this to be long, I have a session with a client right after this. If you've ever been concerned about your pitching, please take my free quiz at pitchingforprofit.com. It's a free 6-question quiz. You can take that. That free 6-question quiz, and the algorithms will do their thing and teach you how to pitch better. It doesn't matter what type of pitch you have to do. We always want to improve. One pitch is never going to be enough for the history and the life of your book, your business, your brand, your product or service. Please take the quiz and see what kind of magic we can create together. And finally, my website is www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. I'd love for you to check out some of the things we have going on, some of the press we have going on, working one-on-one with me, bringing me into other companies, corporations, nonprofits, and foundations. And if you see fit, do a warm introduction. Anyway, my name is Precious Williams, and I'd like to thank you for coming back to another exciting edition of the Keeping It Real with the Killer Pitch Master Show, the show that's all about the art and science of the killer elevator pitch, media pitch, investor pitch, sales pitch, speaker pitch, and interview pitch. We also talk about hashtag speaker tales, hashtag rock the mic, hashtag true tea, and just getting really into the business of pitching and the business of speaking and the business of just getting yourselves out there in a way where you can bait, attract, and close on your most ideal client, ideal prospect, and turn into what? Clients and what? Repeat clients. I'm so thankful that I finished my first TEDx Butler. I'm so grateful for the opportunity and to be able to kill it. I'm so thankful that the last few weeks have seemed like such a whirlwind to be in the right places and spaces. I am thankful that every time I speak, I'm booking paid speaking gigs. And so I want to thank God for these opportunities and understanding when you say trust the process, as you get older, you start to understand it more because nothing happens in one day. It takes time for yourself to get your name out there. You can look at someone like, I did a training on Friday, and Hutch said I had over 50,000 followers on LinkedIn. And I do, and I didn't even know that. And so while that's a great big number, I didn't start there. That took 2.5 years to get there. And I know that sounds even crazy to some people because I'm not a TikToker. I'm not a young influencer. I'm a 42-year-old full-figure diva, plus-size fashionista, the killer pitch master, the female MacGyver business. And I'm honored to be there because I did earn it. There's nobody who was paid to be there. It's an honor that I have almost 100,000 people who read my articles that come out twice a month. It is an honor to be considered among the greats in several fields. And I want you to know, trust the process. This did not happen overnight. It wasn't because somebody just said, "Oh, put her on." It's because whatever doors were put before me, I did push them open and keep going. And whatever doors were denied to me, I had to just walk away and find a crack or something else to go through. Trust the process. Sometimes you keep pushing up against the wrong wall, the wrong door, the wrong window, when maybe there's another place you're supposed to be. And so you don't have to go to every speaker event. You don't have to go to every networking event. And I want you to be all more intentional. If you want to trust the process, be more intentional about where you really want to be, not where everybody else is. If you're a coach or a consultant, you don't have to do what everybody says you have to do, because you see what she's doing, what she's doing. You don't know if it's successful or not. You really don't. And so if they have clients, if they have customers and they're writing testimonials, they're putting them on blast, that means more to me than just saying, "Oh, well, I'm dope." No, I want you to ask for the testimonials. I want you to perform every time as if it's the first time, because you never know who's listening. You never know who wants to book you. You never know who wants to hire you. You never know. So trust the process, and you'll learn more as you keep going. The thing about business is, as much as you know right now, there's still more coming down the pipe. I didn't know about social media when I started, when I was in college. I wasn't even big on computers from 18 to 22. However, as I've grown, I begin to see more and more of an importance on it. There's some people who can run a business without social media. Trust and believe that everything is not for everyone. And me being who I am in business, I didn't want to follow what everybody else was doing. I wanted to go against the grain. And I really pride myself on, I'm not building the same wheels. But what I am doing is showing you that it is possible to have a dream and go for it. Everybody's not gonna see that vision because God gave it to you. And there are a lot of things that I have to do alone, because I know everybody says, "Oh, you need somebody to go everywhere with you." Yes, but there are times like putting out Curvy Girls lingerie was difficult because there wasn't the belief there. I believed it could do it, and I had to do it. And it was me getting myself ready to go on these on television shows. It was me doing all of that, Shark Tank and everything. There were things I had to do, because as soon as I did it and had success, people began to look at me differently. And my book coach and publisher, Sharon Monet, says sometimes the people that you want to support you can't, because because they would muddy the assignment. When God gives you an assignment, it's for you. And so while sometimes it is hard to go on this journey by yourself, I'm not going to lie, it's hard to bend by yourself. It's hard to put things together and break it down, go to other states and do what you do. It's hard to go to places sometimes by yourself. But I believe so much in myself that I'm going to keep going regardless. And because my friends don't all live around me, sometimes my clients don't live all around me. Sometimes I got to do this by myself, because if I don't, it won't get done. So I value the people that love me and around me and can help. I value the people who aren't around me and wish they could be there. But someone's got to get it done, and I'm willing to put in the sweat equity to get it done. My back may hurt. My body is at 22 anymore, but I'm going to tell you, it feels so good when the mission is accomplished. And that God helped me. He didn't qualify the calls. He didn't call the qualified. He qualified the called. If you're called to do something, make tracks and trust the process. I'm so thankful that you all were here with me today. Short day today. Again, this episode is on trusting the process of pitching. You have to seed and then harvest. Seed and then harvest. It's a never-ending journey. And keep the momentum going. Again, my website is www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. If you want to take my free quiz, it's at pitchingforprofit.com. Free 6-question quiz to improve on any aspect of your pitching. And again, the Luminary is having a women's small business pop-up tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday at the Luminary, which is at 1204 Broadway in Midtown, between 29th and 30th and Broadway. Come out, get your free ticket. come out and support the women, or at least see what we're doing. You're going to enjoy yourself, right? So come out and support us tomorrow. I'll be there on Monday and Wednesday, and my new intern starts on Monday. So you get to meet the both of us if you're coming. But also come out and support the other women entrepreneurs who are there. We have Jasmine Sandler, who is the president of NABWO New York. I've worked with her group, and there's just so many wonderful women. I want you all to take advantage of meeting and just, chatting it up. And as we get into the holiday seasons, please support your small entrepreneurs like you would the big box stores and everything like that. We can service you, we will take care of you, and we will make it worth your while because we truly value the money, the time, and the resources you put into us. And that keeps us going for the next generation of women and men behind us. Again, my name is Precious Williams. I am the Killer Pitchmaster. This is the Keeping It Real with the Killer Pitchmaster show. This episode was all about trusting the process of pitching. I look forward to seeing you all soon. If you have comments, leave them. But I want to make this a short episode today because yesterday was a long day at Sisters in Biz Expo. I'm so glad. I want to thank the CEO of the Sisters in Biz Expo. Yandy was there. Bevy Smith was there. And there were a lot of other wonderful women, celebrity sisters that were in the house. And it was just great to fall among the stars. Till next time, everybody. Shake it up. Love you all.